We always called it a bubble. 8 years on, to me, this place is still encased like a bubble, a core memory on my memory shelf that I can sit in and find comfort. I know it was not this way for everyone, and I know so much more than I did then. The clarity with which I understand the world now, its complexities and its crevices, somehow managed to make everything less clear, but perhaps more nuanced. In the big things, like breakups and breaking news, to the small monotonies, like monthly rent and the eternity that is employment, it's easy to understand more and dream less. Perhaps that is why I often go back to this corner of my mind that holds a time when I had the most freedom and the least responsibility. To be a teenager again. Back in my day, I didn't coexist with my phone or even have Instagram. Yet all these years later, perhaps you've only seen my life in photos and captions online. Just a reminder that those are but a minuscule and mostly irrelevant fraction of my life, as I'm sure they are yours. 8 years on, my little sister has moved out and is embarking on her own adventure here. She's been there for 2 weeks now. At first, it was hard hearing about all the ways the place has changed. Don't get me started, teenagers can suck. But it's also clear how some things haven't. Past downs do live on, like beach days at Matheson or blindfolded walks through the woods. Thinking about how my sister is now the age I was when I left home, and thinking about my parents being alone in my childhood home has made me think a lot about time, and how I can't go back to the time when the fresh fall air symbolized a fresh new school year. That cadence of new beginnings, that cadence, it felt like that would last forever. I can't go back to being 17 when I had yet to understand impermanence. In all, I took the ferry 4 times while at school. This has been a recent big realization that life is mostly made of small numbers. 4 ferry rides, 8 semesters, 18 childhood Christmases. I do sometimes wish I could live it all again, not because I'm unhappy with where I am, but because I loved growing up. It wasn't painless, but I'd live every year many times over. By the way, I recently watched this mildly popular TV show called The Good Place. Spoiler alert, they ultimately do make it to heaven, the good place. There's this scene where the main characters cuddle in front of a sunset, one that they can watch for as many millennia as they want. And they recognize that, quote, "The good place isn't a place, it's having enough time with the people you love." That is the sentiment I'm trying to express. I didn't have enough time to love you all until I was full and bored, and that is okay, that is life, but a little sad. Luckily, I have hopefully learned that I'll look back on today with the same nostalgia, that I won't be able to go back to these days. I know we haven't kept in touch particularly well, and that's okay, because part of what made this place special was that we fit together for just a moment in time, even when in other contexts we wouldn't have found each other. If you're wondering about me, I'm doing well these days. I'm simultaneously secure and exploring, grateful, and anxiety-filled. I think it's a lifelong journey to live in the way that is most authentic to you, and in the mess of that all, I am so thankful for this bubble, for this core memory on my memory shelf. I love it that in my nostalgia, we will always be 17.